world outside roars with a chaos that seems determined to dictate the terms of your inner peace. It speaks in headlines of lack, forecasts of fear, and a constant thrumming anxiety about what tomorrow may bring. Yet within you, there exists a chamber so profound, so untouched by the outer storm, that its silence can drown out the noise of nations. This chamber is the birthplace of your world. What you feel and acknowledge as true within this sacred space is the only reality that will ever truly blossom in the garden of your experience. The crisis without is but a shadow, a fleeting echo of a state of mind humanity has collectively embraced. It holds no power over the individual who has learned to close the door of the senses and dwell in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Most sleepwalk through the drama of their lives, believing themselves to be victims of a capricious fate. They point to the crumbling markets, the shifting political landscapes, the instability of systems, and say, "See? This is why I am afraid. This is why I cannot have what I want." They are like actors on a stage, so convinced by the props and the script that they forget they have the capacity to write a new one, or accept the evidence of their senses as the final, unchangeable truth. But the senses only report on the world of effects, the world that has already been formed. To live there is to live in the past, constantly reacting to a creation that is already old. The world of cause is a different country altogether. It is a realm of feeling, of unshakable conviction in a reality that has not yet appeared to the outer eye. This is not a call to deny what the eyes see or the ears hear. That would be foolish. It is instead an invitation to recognize these things for what they are, shadows. A shadow has no substance of its own. It is entirely dependent on the object that casts it. The anxieties, the shortages, the conflicts, these are the shadows. Your own consciousness is the object. Change the nature of the object, and the shadow must, by law, transform. To try and smooth out the shadow with your bare hands is an exercise in utter frustration. You must turn your attention to the source. The process begins with a simple, yet profoundly difficult, act of ignoring the present facts. This is the first great hurdle. The mind, trained by a lifetime of conditioning, will rebel. It will present 1,000 logical arguments, a mountain of evidence, all designed to prove that your desired state is impossible, foolish, a fantasy. This is the moment of choice. Will you capitulate to the world of effects, or will you remain loyal to the world of cause? To ignore the facts is not to be ignorant of them. It is to recognize their transient, subordinate nature. It is to say, "I see you, but you are not the truth. The truth is what I am now feeling within." The next step is to enter that inner chamber and to define the one desire of your heart. Not the 10 desires, not the shifting wants of a restless mind, but the one central thing. What would you be if you were already the person you wish to become? What would you feel? The feeling is the secret. It is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Do not dwell on the process of getting there. The how is not your concern. The intelligence of life itself will orchestrate the events, the chance meetings, the unforeseen opportunities that will bridge the gap between your inner feeling and its outer manifestation. Your only task is to occupy the end. Feel the joy, the peace, the security, the freedom, as if it were already a present fact. This is where many falter. They try to force a feeling, to pretend, and the heart knows the difference. The feeling must be natural, a gentle soaking of the mind in the reality of the fulfilled wish. It is like remembering a fond memory, but the memory is of a future joy. You recall how it felt to receive that good news, to achieve that goal, to be in that state of loving companionship. You wear that feeling like a garment. You let it permeate your being until it becomes the dominant mood of your inner world. You fall asleep in it. You wake up with it. You carry it with you as you move through the outer world of shadows. There will be moments when the shadows will seem terrifyingly solid. A piece of bad news, a conversation that reinforces fear, a sight that stirs anxiety. In these moments, do not fight the shadow. Do not argue with it. Simply, quietly return to the feeling. It is like a musician returning to the tonic note after a discordant passage. It recenters the entire symphony. This is the discipline of the Creator. It is not a fight, but a gentle, persistent return to the only reality that matters. You are not denying the shadow, you are simply turning your back on it to face the light. And as you face the light, the shadow by its very nature must fall behind you. This inner work, this dwelling in the feeling, is what the ancient teachers called faith. But it is not faith in something external. It is faith in your own wonderful human imagination. It is the deep, unshakable knowing that what you have felt and accepted as true in your inner world must, by immutable law, objectify itself in your outer world. The interval between the feeling and the manifestation can be a time of great testing. The mind will grow impatient. It will demand proof. It will whisper that you are a fool. This is when you must persist. The farmer does not dig up the seed to see if it is growing. He has faith in the law of the soil. You must have faith in the law of your own consciousness. As you persist, a subtle shift will occur. The desire will begin to feel less like a desire and more like a memory. The feeling of fulfillment will lose its strain and become a natural background tone to your life. You will find yourself less and less interested in the conflicting news of the world, not out of ignorance, but out of a quiet confidence that your world is being shaped from within. You will begin to notice small, almost imperceptible signs in the outer world. A conversation overheard, a sentence in something you read, a sudden opportunity that seem to echo your inner conviction. These are the first tender shoots breaking through the soil. Do not celebrate them prematurely, nor doubt them if they are small. They are simply confirmations that the law is working. The world may still be in turmoil, but you will move through it with a strange immunity. The chaos will be like a storm seen from a strong, well-built house. You are safe inside. The house is your state of consciousness. You have built it with your feelings, and it is impervious to the weather outside. People will wonder at your peace. They will ask how you can be so calm when everything is falling apart. You will have no answer they can readily understand, for you speak the language of cause, and they are still lost in the world of effect. This is not a selfish pursuit. To manifest a life of peace, of abundance, of love amidst a global crisis is not an act of escapism. It is the most profound contribution you can make to the whole. For you are not separate from the mass of humanity. Your consciousness is a part of the one consciousness. As you lift your own state, you lift in some small but real way the state of all. A stone thrown into a pond creates ripples that touch every shore. Your assumption of peace sends out ripples into the collective mind, making it easier for another to find their own peace. Your lived experience of abundance in a time of perceived lack is a silent, powerful sermon that contradicts the world's story of fear. Do not be concerned if your desired state seems grand or out of reach. The law makes no distinction between a small desire and a great one. The principle is the same, whether you wish for a perfect cup of coffee or a life-changing financial windfall. The process is identical. Feel the wish fulfilled. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the magnet that draws all necessary events and circumstances into your life. The universe is infinitely resourceful. It does not need your help in figuring out the logistics. It only needs your clear, unwavering feeling. Some may wait for a sign, a voice from the heavens, a thunderclap to signal that their desire is granted. This is a misunderstanding. The sign is always your own feeling. When the feeling is natural and sustained, the work is done. You can then let go of all anxiety, all sense of striving. It is like mailing a letter. You do not stand by the mailbox worrying about how the postal service will deliver it. You drop it in and go about your day in perfect confidence that it will reach its destination. So it is with your feeling. Once it is impressed upon your subconscious mind, which is the engine of creation, you can relax. The outer world will reorganize itself to reflect that inner impression. It is a law, as reliable as the law of gravity. The days may come and go, each bringing its own news, its own challenges, but you will have found an unchanging point within yourself. You will have discovered that the dream life is not a location you arrive at in some distant future. It is a quality of consciousness you cultivate in the eternal present. The global crisis, then, becomes nothing more than a backdrop, a contrast that makes the reality of your own inner creation all the more vivid and precious. It is the canvas upon which you are painting a masterpiece of your own design. The world shouts of limitation, but you have learned to listen to the whisper of infinite possibility within. And that whisper, sustained and believed, will always, always triumph over the shout. For it is the voice of the Creator, and you are that.